Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. First of all, I'd like to thank all those people who like my previous videos and subscribe to my channel. If you have not subscribed as of yet, you can just go down and click the subscribe button and press the bell icon to get notified about my latest videos. So, a lot of people had requested me to make a list of the top 5 animated films of all time, but everybody knows what movies are going to make that list. There are going to be a few Disney movies like Lion King and Jungle Book, few Pixar movies like Toy Story and Up, and a few DreamWorks movies like Shrek and Kung Fu Panda. So it's a pretty obvious list. But I thought that a more rare list would be the top 5 anime movies of all time. In case you're not familiar with what an anime is, anime refers to this Japanese style of animation in both movies and TV shows, which is aimed at more mature audiences, which is meant for mostly adults. But this style is, I think, amazing, and I will say that even anime is not just equally good as American animated films, possibly even better. So before I start the list, I have 3 honorable mentions. They are Millennium Actress, Paprika, and Porco Rosso. And just before I start the list, this movie Paprika, you should really check it out because it even was loosely remade into Inception. Anyways, now let's start the actual list. Number 1 on my list is Spirited Away. This is a historical film because it is the only non-English film to win the Best Animated Picture Oscar. Spirited Away is made by Ghibli Studios. Now, Ghibli Studios is like the Disney Studios for anime. They make most of the films and most of the good films. And this film is directed by legendary anime filmmaker Hayao Miyazaki. This film tells the story of a young girl who is on her quest to save her parents from a curse that has turned them into pigs. Now, although this sounds like the story for a very family-friendly sort of a film, this film is much more philosophical than your typical Disney movies and such. And I think it's amazing, and it's a must-watch, not just for any anime fans or animated movie lovers, but for any cinema lovers, because this has some great cinematic brilliance. It's a definite must-watch. Number 2 on my list is Princess Mononoke. Once again, another film directed by Hayao Miyazaki and produced by Studio Ghibli. This film tells the story of a war between human beings and animals who both want control of the forest. And then there is this character of this young girl who is a human but was raised by wolves. So she's a sort of like in between, and she tries to stop this war. As you've already guessed, it's a brilliant film. It is a sort of a satire, and it is also very graphically violent. I must warn you about that. But still, this film is totally amazing. Number 3 on my list is Perfect Blue. Now, this film was directed by another great anime filmmaker, Satoshi Kon, who quite unfortunately died at a very young age. Perfect Blue is a psychological horror thriller film. And this film, what makes it so great is that despite being an animated film, it is more scary than some actual live action psychological horror movies like Psycho or Silence of the Lambs, and I'm not joking. The film tells the story of this young girl who was very famous as this teenage singer, and now she wants to join this pop band. Now that she's growing up, but this entire thing actually becomes very controversial. People don't want her to join this band, and now there is one psychopathic stalker who keeps on calling her and scaring her, telling her not to do this. And I must say that this film is one of the best horror films ever made, period. Not just for animated films, for both animated and live action movies, this is one of the greatest horror films of all time. Number 4 on my list is The Tales of Princess Kaguya. This is another great film from Studio Ghibli, as I said before. This film is is one of the oldest, tells the story of one of the oldest Japanese folk tales about a woodcutter who finds this baby girl inside a bamboo tree and raises her as his own daughter, and it turns out that she is from the moon. It's a brilliant fairy tale which is also turned into a tragic melodrama in a totally amazing way. All I can say is that it's a very sad film, so if you don't like that, you should not watch this movie. But it has some amazing animation, some brilliant storytelling, and of course the typical excellence you expect from a Studio Ghibli movie. And finally, number 5 on my list is my favorite anime film of all time, The Grave of the Fireflies. This film is one of the greatest films I have ever watched. And you guys know I watched a lot of movies. This film is so amazing. It tells the story of two siblings who try to survive the Second World War alone in Japan after both of their parents have died. They are all alone, and how they try to survive. It's such a brilliant film, such amazing animation, amazing filmmaking, amazing voice acting, amazing storytelling. Like, this is one of those very few films which can be considered perfect. And so this film is a must watch. If you have never watched any anime movies before, I suggest you should start with either this or the first movie on my list, Spirited Away. Anyways guys, that was the video. Thanks for watching. If you like my videos, please like, share and subscribe. You can also write down your thoughts in the comment section below. So thank you, bye bye, and I'll meet you next week.